What's happening, y'all? It's your man Sam, and here at Viral Hip Hop News. Listen, do me a favor. You see the brother right now on your screen. Go down to my description box and follow Chakra Doctor at Chakra Doctor TV on YouTube. Your only place to find miracle food.
Just want to share, that hope and that thing of overcoming. You know what I'm saying with someone, because I always say, man, money comes and goes. We can have all the money in the world that we want, but people don't remember how much money you had or what kind of car you had. They remember how you made them feel. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be able to document. I got a hell of a story. I mean, coming from the hood in Kansas City, I had my first child at 16. I was in jail at 15, coming up through the streets, coming up through the music, game, and doing my independent thing, of course, being with No Limit and being with one of the biggest music moguls of our generation, and then transitioning into other arenas of business, so all of that, and all of that, I was successful because of all the failures, you know what I mean? So I lost a lot. I bumped my head a lot. So I want to be able to share those experiences, and hopefully, somebody can find, something helpful out of that, and they can learn from it and not go through the same thing and cut the time down for them to be successful.
No, at 15, weren't you facing like juvenile life or something like that?
Hell yeah.
How was that at 15, thinking you was going to go away for a long time?
Oh man, that was such a, every now and again, bro, I think about that time of my life, and I get goosebumps, because there were so many instances where I couldn't have been here. It was really a slippery slope at that time in my life. I was going through shit at home. I was I was being a follower, and when I say follower, not of an individual, but following the destructive culture, you know what I'm saying? And feeding into the gangster bullshit and all of that. And yeah, man, at the same, like, think about that. At the same time that I'm sitting here in jail and they talk about giving me juvenile life, then sending me to the penitentiary. My girlfriend is pregnant and I'm 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? My mama, she's going through what she's going through, man, I had shit going on in the streets. I'm still trying to find myself. I don't know if I want to be a gangbanger, a dope dealer, a doctor, a rapper, like I'm trying to figure my way out. So, I can just remember so many different instances of near-death experiences, just precarious positions, walking the street late at night. I can remember times sleeping in the park, that was, I'm not going to say it was a dark time of my life, but just a very confusing time, trying to find my way. But, God smiled on me, bro. And I end up kind of making it out of that situation with a little less than a little more than a slap on the hand. And so that kind of got my mind right to let me know, hey, you know what I'm saying? All that gangster bullshit ain't what it's cracked up to be, and not to say that I was an angel, moving forward. I probably still flirted, with the underworld to an but I just moved differently. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't reckless and crashing out like I was when I was younger. So, I like to give youngsters that message and let them know that, man, listen, it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change. Growing up and growing old and having kids and being successful and being healthy is cool. You know what I mean? It's not cool to die at 18, 19, 20 years old or get, 30, 40-year sentences for something that you did as a child. You know what I mean? Pretty much. And you got to pay for that for the rest of your life. So,
To extend on that, we often talk here on the show about a lot of these rappers who grow up right in front of us, who get this abundance amount of money and never knew what to ever do with it. No one ever told them what to do with it. And we're watching them grow up right in front of our eyes. And although it's kind of tough to put them in a child situation because they're out here making grown men decisions and making mistakes like grown men, we often have to put ourselves in that shoe. Like, damn, what were we doing at 21, 22? And how are we looking at 38 and 36? Talk about hip hop now and what you think as an OG about some of these young rappers who are very impressionable to the youth, but acting out on social media like crazy. Like you said, you got into social media a little later in the game. So I'd love to know your perspective on how you looking at hip hop, the young hip hop artists going back and forth on social media, the things that you see. Like, what do you think about it right now?
That's a twofold question. I think that, well, for one, for starters, I enjoy the music. I can honestly say, you know, I'm not one of these older cats that hate on the music and talk about how it was in our day or whatever. I love the music. A lot of these little niggas, I really be rocking to they shit. But you know, what I don't understand, I think is a little different than it was in our generation, is the fact that, you know, many of them are blessed with these opportunities. You know, you have the opportunity to change your circumstance, change your life, change the people's lives around you. And it seems like they lean more into the bullshit once they get success. That's the part that I can't understand, because, you know, we did our share of bullshit. Yeah, we was messed up back then as well. But once we got an opportunity, you know, mostly we tried to do something different, you know what I mean, and move a little bit different. It just seems like, I don't know, it's almost like a prerequisite to get a record deal, get hot, and then get killed or go to jail. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So, you know, I don't know what to attribute that to be very honest with you. Because like you said, it's one thing to talk about a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, but when you start talking about 21, 22, you know, yes, they're still very young, but you know better. You know what I mean? You definitely know better. So I think what it is too is it's the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple components to it. The culture celebrates destruction. You know what I mean? It's like the more reckless that you can be, the cooler you are. You know, if you crash out on social media, you got ops, you going back and forth, and you basically incriminating yourself, the realer that I guess the people think you're gonna be, or so to speak, but not really, because what they got to understand is, you know, the commenters and the onlookers, they hype it up, they love the drama, but as soon as somebody crash out, then they talk about how stupid you was. You know, talk about, damn, he had all that money, he's stupid. Wow. You know, so I think if they educate themselves and they understand, you know, I mean, even outside of educating themselves to move in different ways and get into different business and different things like that, they got to do the self-work too, you know, and you got a lot of motherfuckers that's getting high too. You know, you can't, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up. A lot of these niggas is on pills, lean, and everything under the sun. So you already talking about maybe a level of mental and emotional instability mixed in with substance, you know, and then you know, a culture that's, you know, that celebrates recklessness. So it's a powder keg. It's you know, it's so many dynamics to it. But ultimately, I think if youngins if they're willing to just open their minds to evolve and to change, be okay to change, be okay to not feel how you felt 5 years ago, you know, because if you think that some of the shit you did wasn't stupid 10 years, 5 years ago, you probably still stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that, you know, they got to be willing to do the self work. That's really what it's about. You got to be 100 with yourself. If you got a drug problem, be 100 with yourself and address that. If you got the wrong niggas around you, and you know, you can't be keeping it 100 with a bunch of crash dummies and they're, you know, jeopardizing your growth. You got to keep it real with yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mixed bag of questions and solutions and answers. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, I don't get it though. I don't understand how they get these opportunities and they getting, you know, even a couple $1 million. We all know they ain't rich like they say, but you are doing a whole hell of a lot better than you was in the project though. You know, so I don't know, my brother.
Yeah.
To introduce the show, when I sent this to Sam, asked, oh God, that nigga said, oh God, you the man, Cass. I spit white like a clan mask, and I'm a hustler. I could stand out on the beach and sell sandbags. Some things can't last, but this ain't just a podcast. This is Sam Ant and Oh God Cass. Bar hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Go gang.